this where the ships come in to visit the beautiful town of Ephesus, the queen of all the ancient cities, as we go up the steps into the Odeon Theater, where the Roman senators discussed business and had good times listening to music. Where the orchestra space is kept in the semicircular area at the bottom. This is a 2nd century AD restored section, a city with beautiful Ionic column. And when you turn around, the curvature of the 2nd century AD. It has been excavated since 1863. And this is the Nike, the goddess of the tennis shoes in our times, but the goddess of victory in the old days. This is the Kureiti Street in front of us, a major street in the ancient town of Ephesus. And these chiseled marble blocks to slow the traffic coming downhill, like speed bumps we have in our times, and the major route showing the fountain of Trajan with his right foot next to the globe. They knew the world was round. Ever since the times of Trajan, that goes back to some 1800 years before our times. As we enter into the Scholastikia baths, the baths for the rich, Lady Scholastikia with this statue was the one who had it restored around 400 AD. The underground pipes for water and heat in the Scholastikia baths. Hadrian's Temple, 2nd century AD, the best of the Roman period. And in the background, the Medusa head and Tyche, leading us into the latrines, which could seat 43 people, as we see today. Celsius Library, and the door leading us into the 3rd century BC Hellenistic Agora. The menorah and the 2 holes where the father Polymianus was buried. The beautiful entrance leading us to this marble street with this interesting footprint which we will be seeing, showing us that if you keep walking along this pavement, a little bit later on your left will be the red light district of the town. The road finally leads us into this 25,000-seater big theater in Ephesus, where St. Paul made this speech. The silversmith's ride. It all happened right here in Ephesus. At the top of Ephesus on Mount Nightingale, we have Virgin Mary's house, where every Sunday they have Mass, and people gathering here to drink the holy water of Virgin Mary. As well as some people come here to tie the white ribbons in order to find the right husbands. As we go downhill with the Virgin Mary statue on the left, we approach the ancient town of Ephesus in front. The city with the famous Temple of Artemis and Artemis statue with the birds showing the abundance and fertility. Nearby hilltop is where we have St. John buried, and people visiting in the baptistry having their baptismal ceremonies. They're also ready to visit where John is buried. After writing the Apocalypse in Patmos, this is where he died in his late age and was buried at this very location. The Whispering Gallery, leading us towards the top of the hill. And this church was built by Isidoro, the architect who built St. Sophia in Constantinople as well. The first Turkish carpet ever made in central Anatolia, coming from Asia Minor, 2,300 years old, this Pazarik carpet with the hunting design, a brand new example with hunters and geometric designs, is how the art of Turkish carpet making has come to our times. Girls using these looms in the way they make their carpets. They also make kilims. Kilims are woven, while rugs are knotted. That is the easiest differentiation between those with the pile and those without the pile. A pure silk carpet, which this lady is tying with 1451 double knots to the square inch fineness from Hereke. And when each line is finished, the lady will beat it down with the iron comb, and then she will be ready to trim the excess pile when each line is finished. And that is how a small pure silk carpet will be finished, which will take approximately a year and a half to finish. And that is a hereke, the finest pure silk rugs in the world, with the central medallion. One must be born talented in order to be able to make these rugs in this style, and that is the excess material. In the vicinity we have beautiful peach trees blooming, while the lady is getting ready to show us how the pure silk fiber is obtained from the natural cocoons, using a very interesting sponge, boiling water, and she works real fast, getting all the fibers out of these cocoons, and she will soon be tying it to the nearest machine, which will be pulling these fibers out one after the other to show us how the pure silk fiber is obtained. Imagine when you pull out the fibers of one cocoon in the good quality, you will have 1 mile long filament. And those are the dancing cocoons in the hot boiling water. Along this roadside where this truck is carrying Turkish-made Renault cars, this town is also making carpets. It is not ideal to buy carpets off the road unless you're an expert. This is the group where the Acıbeder rugs are made. Also, in the vicinity of Ephesus, one of the major other crafts is the jewelry making, which has been passing from fathers to sons. And finally, we are watching Master Oğuz giving us a tour of the castle of Bodrum, ancient Halikarnassos in the background. He has been in this museum in the last 40 years. Turkish tourism cannot thank him enough for all the works he has done. It was a glorious day. Our guides, including myself, was at that disposal. Finally, this is my grandchild, Omer. As you see, he is working real hard, getting ready for a future tour. If one of us, the guides, is not ready for your next visit to Turkey, hopefully he'll be the one in charge by showing you the way. God bless his heart, and I'd like to thank you for your wonderful audience.